It's time to go in.
This is Mixlot Production. It's
What's up, guys? I will be installing, gapping the piston rings today. As you can see here, I have them all. I have all the sets set in different bags with the cylinder number on them, 1 through 4. And I have my 2 compression rings. I have my spacer and my oil rings in each bag. One of the things I did have problems with, and I went ahead and I checked them, so mine's are all in spec, but I am going to install, I guess, cylinder 4 and show you guys how to do that. One thing I did learn from the other 3 is to make sure you press your piston down far enough in, because the top of your cylinder might be a little bit worn out, which is totally fine, but you want to make sure, and I keep on saying but you just want to make sure you press it down far enough to get a proper gapping, get your proper gap. Another problem I did run into is my rings all were kind of just bunched together in the box. They weren't separated, so I wasn't sure which ring was which as far as the compression rings. And I did find out usually your number 2 compression ring, so that's the second one down, has some kind of marking. Because that's the one that pushes the oil back down into the cylinder. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but these ones have a dot right there. Make sure that faces up, and that is your second compression ring. So this one will go on the top of the piston. This will go in the second ring land, and then you'll have your oil and your spacer rings in your third ring lands. Also, you want to lube your cylinder up with oil. And go ahead and put some on the rings as well before you do that. And then then you pretty much you slide them in. You go down first and then just twist them in. Press your piston down on it, and that's that. And I'll show you. And I didn't do that on all 3 of them. On my other 3, I'll do it right on this one. But I might show you some video from that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you this video. And just check the gap on these ones. I did find what the gap should be. Your first ring should be between 8 to 14 thousandths. Your second ring should be 16 to 22 thousandths. Your third ring, your third set, nobody really gaps. I looked in the Honda book, they don't gap them either. So I guess that's kind of that should be in spec. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this done. Let's check cylinder 4. Alright, let's get it. So right here, I don't know if you can see this. Right here, I got my first ring. What I'm gonna do is just drop this down in here like this. Twist it up. Boom. See, that's in there now. Let me turn on this light. Probably can't see shit with this either. Somebody even fucking with it. Alright, so we got that in. Now you want to take your piston. Take your piston and push that down far enough to level that out. And also to get it away from the... So what I do is I take those, just even those up with this. I know that's even, and it's down far enough to get down into the actual bore of the cylinder. So we got that. Now we want to take your filler gauge right here. And what I've been doing is I've just been checking the extreme, the low and the high. So this should be between 8 and 14. So I want to go down here. 24, 23. Where we at? Where we at now? So here I got 8. So this should go in fairly easy. Let me see if I could take this Yep, went in fairly easy. Now I'm going to take my other extreme, 14. This should be kind of a snug fit. Got my 14 here. This should be a snug fit. And I'm not going to push down on it. I'm gonna say if this is the gap, I'm going to kind of slide it in and check it. Because if you push down on it, then you might push one side down and your filler gauge might actually go in at an angle or whatever, and you might get a false reading. So I kind of just try to slide it in. Yep, and that slid in pretty tight. Feel some pressure against it. I'm gonna try 13, which is even better, as it's still great. And that fits in pretty good. Yep. So we're still in spec here, and you'll just repeat the same thing for the. I'm gonna go back with the 14 again. Yep, and that's good. So let me see. And mine are kind of off in there. I just leveled it up a little bit again. I like to double, triple check. I'm gonna check this one more time. Yeah, that's good. So everything's in spec, everything's good. And you'll just repeat the same thing for the second ring we got here. And make sure this is in spec as well. You know, just same thing for every ring, then you'll go ahead and throw it in on the pistons. Alright, man, that's it for this. Let's get these on the pistons next. So here, I'm going to go ahead and throw my spacer ring on first. Spacer ring, little jagged ring. Very simple. Boom, just like that. Then you got your 2 oil rings, I guess they're called. Real thin ones. Just be careful with these. I do not use a tool for these. I don't think anybody does. They actually slide right through the tool. So you can't use a tool for these. These are the one I got. So I kind of just ladder stepped them down. You know. Got that one down to the top. I'll throw that one on top. Just slide it across. Not sure if you can see it, but boom, there it goes. Got one more. Same one. I'm going to work this one down to the bottom. Try not to bend it as much as possible. Or trying to bend it as little as possible, I guess I would say. Once you get there, you can just kind of slide it around. Work it all the way around. And there we go. Now I'm going to clock these afterwards. So next what you want to do, I'm going to get my ring with the notch on it. Here it goes. Make sure that's facing up. When I put that on, I am going to use my tool for this. Slide that in. Double check the notches up. Slide that in. Pretty much get it close and then just let it seat itself. Boom. There we go. And then your top compression ring, I'm going to do the same thing. This one, it doesn't have a direction. Just go ahead and grab it. And I'm opening it as little as possible. I don't know if it would affect it at all to get it on there. And boom. And just slide that down. And there we go. That's how you install your rings. And you also want to clock them, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and finish these though. Alright. We got all our rings installed, so I'm going to take a look at the book, clock everything. And then I'll bring that out when I get to doing that. For now, so next step will be just to clock all our rings in here. Then we'll get our bearings in, which I have right here. Get our bearings in, and get ready to put this in the block, man. So this may be the end of this episode. It may not be. So just in case, peace.